Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Saturday. In this video, I'm going over my MLB PrizePicks plays for today. I probably won't have my DFS plays in this video. If you want them, you can check out Twitter. I'll post them closer to lock. We got two slates today for DFS, 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock. And 4 o'clock has like 9 games on it, so I'll probably have that one for sure over on Twitter around 3, just like I did yesterday. But I wanted to get these PrizePicks videos or PrizePicks plays out to you guys as soon as possible. So let's go ahead and get started. As always, if you enjoy the content, appreciate it if you hit the like button, subscribe if you have not already. You can check out the other links down below as well if you're interested. If you haven't signed up yet on PrizePicks, you can use my code process for deposit match up to $100. And let's go ahead and get started. First prop is a strikeout prop, and taking the over strikeouts on Tristan McKenzie. It's at 4.5 Ks right now. I don't know why it's super low. This one definitely has a feeling of getting bumped to 5 in a couple of hours if people continue to bet this. If we look at how often this one has hit, it's been very doable, and it's been great value for McKenzie. On sportsbooks, this number is at -161 for the over. He's hit this in his last 5 games with 7 in back-to-back starts against the Yankees and against the Twins. And then he had 5, 6, and 6. This season, over 4.5 strikeouts, he's hitting this number at 67% clip. I know he only had 1 strikeout against them against the Royals earlier this year, but just a poor performance from him. He only won 3 innings. If you look back at last season as well, where he did face this Royals team, he's faced them 6 times over the past this year and last year, and during that span, he's hit this in 4 out of the 6, so pretty good numbers, pretty good odds of this happening again. If we look at just his game log, he goes pretty deep into games, so we can count on him to get you over 90 pitches, get you close to 100 most times. He did get pulled early against Minnesota because he gave up 6 earned runs, but otherwise he's been very consistent for the Guardians this year, being one of their pitchers, and he's on the road, but it's a pretty good ballpark to pitch in. It's not terrible at all in Kansas City, so that is the first prop, going with over 4.5 strikeouts for Tristan McKenzie. The second prop is also a strikeout prop, and we're going with a guy that's come back from injury and a couple starts ago, and he continues to just crush, and that's Brennan Wood. It's at 7.5 strikeouts. I do not mind his fantasy score. I don't mind his pitches thrown, because we've seen that number steadily rise since he's been back. And last time out, he got over 90, which is a great sign that he can continue to push for mid-90s, if not close to 100 pitches today. He's already has 71 strikeouts in just 54 innings this year since he's been back from injury after missing over a month. He has 18 strikeouts in 11 innings. He has given up 0 walks during that span. He's only given up 1 earned run, only 8 hits. He's been locked in. They won both of the games. And he's going up against the same exact matchup where he dominated the Pittsburgh team for 6 innings and 8 strikeouts just a week ago. So really good value for this number right now, I'd say, at 7.5, especially with the pitching count continuing to go up. We could see maybe a few more pitches for him today, but otherwise, think he can probably get you at least 8 strikeouts again today. If not, you can take his fantasy score, or maybe his pitching outs, because probably will get you, those 6 innings at least. But those are the 2 that I like. Or maybe just taking the under 1.5 walks could be another great value as well. In the last couple starts, he hasn't had any walks, so that could also be another one to consider for Woodruff. But I'm sticking with the strikeouts for him, just with how good he's been in getting those recently. Another strikeout prop, this is going to be one of the last games on the slate, taking the over 5.5 strikeouts for Alec Manoa. Also do like the pitcher on the opposing side, Robbie Ray, going up against his former team, where he won the Cy Young for them last year in the Blue Jays. But the Blue Jays do not strike out as much as the Mariners do, and even though Manoa doesn't have as much strikeout stuff as Robbie Ray does, he still has a way more guys in this lineup that will strike out. If you look at this lineup for the Mariners, you got a couple guys north of 30% with the catcher and Suarez. You got the leadoff hitter Rodriguez, been crushing it this year, but he also does strike out almost 30%. You got over 20% for last couple of guys in the batting order with Moore and Haggerty. And ultimately, Manoa is able to do a good job of striking out right-handed batters especially, and should get a pretty even balance, looking at 4 righties, maybe some switch hitters there. But overall, we only need 5 strikeouts for Manoa. Actually, 6 strikeouts for Manoa, but he's hit that in right exactly like 50% of his starts this year so far, and recently he's been a little bit better with the strikeouts. So those are the 3 K props I like. Looking at the first inning runs allowed, the Nerfy that everybody's probably going to go with is the Giants Padres Nerfy. It came through a couple days ago, and I think it's going to come through again today. You got Yu Darvish and Carlos Rodon going at it. Both teams have a 3.3 total. It's one of the lowest totals we've seen in any baseball game this year. 6.6, probably going to get down to 6.5 on the total on the sports books in a couple of hours once people bet the under. But you got two solid pitchers, two guys that also do possess a lot of strikeout upside. So we could see, anytime you have pitchers that will strike out a lot of hitters, it's in terms of going with the Nerfy. If they're solid enough, then they're not going to have much trouble with base runners, and don't have to worry too much risk of the defenders making some errors or something like that could cost a Nerfy if they're able to just strike out at least a couple of batters, or maybe at least one batter at least for each of them in the first inning. And then the last prop is going to be a pitching outs prop, and we're taking the over. It's another one that's really solid that I like, and Martin Perez has been a workhorse for the Rangers all season. He's been their best pitcher. Looking at his splits in terms of the pitching outs, on Sportsbooks the number's at 17.5, but it's absolutely juiced to the over. We're getting 18 on PrizePicks, which he's had a couple of pushes this year, 4 pushes of 18, but he's only not gone 6 innings in 3 starts, which is just ridiculous. And that 2 of them were his first 2 starts of the season, where he only threw 68 and 67 pitches, so you can't really put too much stock into those. So basically, in his last 10 starts, he's gone at least 6 innings except for 1 against the White Sox. I really love the odds on that one happening, and in 8 of those 11 starts, he's gone over 18 outs. So this number will probably get bumped up to 18.5 at least. But that's another great value that I really like today. And it's kind of it for the PrizePicks. There's some other ones that we can consider if you're making a couple of entries, like for fantasy score. Like I mentioned, if you're not looking at Woodruff's strikeouts, you can take his fantasy score. You can take Martin Perez's fantasy score. But Kyle Wright probably sticks out at 35.5 just because they're heavily favored. Good chance of getting the quality start against the Nats. Good chance of getting the win with the Braves having a 6+ run total. The last game on the slate could also be a Nerfy between Manoa and Robbie Ray that you consider. Taking Clayton Kershaw's over fantasy is another one. We've got a lot of stud pitchers today. And even this game with Rodon and Yu Darvish, both pitchers look solid. A lot of great pitchers. That's kind of what I'm sticking with. And also taking some of the low numbers that we have on some of these guys, like McKenzie at 4.5 and Manoa at 5.5, and even Woodruff looks solid. But ultimately, that is what I got for you guys today. McKenzie over 4.5 strikeouts, Woodruff over 7.5 strikeouts, Manoa over 5.5 Ks. No run first inning, Giants Padres, and over 18 outs for Martin Perez. Best of luck today if you're running these 5. Hopefully we can go at least 4-1, if not get a complete sweep. Best of luck, and I will see you all next time.